I'm Ann Woody. I live in Meridian Township, but I also work for Sierra Club. We've been actively involved since the beginning of the Lansing Can Do Better efforts because we're concerned about all of the coal plant proposals in Michigan. And this is one of about 8 proposals in Michigan. Michigan doesn't have because of our economic situation, we actually are declining in our use of electricity right now. And coal is an expensive energy source. It's a dirty energy source. There shouldn't be any new coal plants built in this country at all because the carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases we've been told by scientists we really cannot afford to build any more.
We feel strongly that there are other options than the options that they are promoting. They say there are only 2 options, either this coal plant or we have to buy exorbitant rated coal, and that's not true. There's many other options. We have a plan B, which says, first of all, we have to wait because there's so many uncertainties right now, financial uncertainties. Cost of coal is skyrocketing, the cost of construction is skyrocketing. We don't know what the new carbon laws are going to be. We just want the Board of Water and Light to wait, Secondly, I think energy efficiency and renewable energy are the 2 key things that we should really be working on right now. We have at least a decade, maybe 20 years, before the Eckert plant is totally decommissioned or taken offline.
I spent about 20 years working for the State Department of Natural Resources as a fisheries biologist. And part of what I did was to review permit applications for power plants. So I've been studying power plants for about 30 years now. First of all, there are a lot of studies that show that we use energy inefficiently for a variety of reasons. And the opportunity for reducing our use of energy while improving our comfort is around 30% of the energy that we use through just things like better insulation, better lighting, more efficient appliances. It's important. This isn't about turning the temperature down. This is about really making people's homes and businesses more comfortable and more productive than they are now. And it can be done at a cost that is less than the cost of the power that we would stop using.
I think, the idea that coal is cheap is just really a misnomer. Coal is not cheap. There are so many external costs, what they call externalities, with regards to coal.
One of the concerns we've had is that there was a real rush to try to get these coal plant proposals out there and approved before the end of the Bush administration, because Bush clearly was not going to regulate CO2. And our concern was that the coal companies and the power companies were not letting people know that they were going to be passing along the costs of these additional carbon controls after the plants were built.
Someone said tonight that it's $1.3 billion a year that goes out of the state to buy our coal. That $1.3 billion could stay in the state every year. With energy efficiency, that's jobs. It's like 30 more jobs than you would get with a coal plant for every person in a coal plant. And once the coal plant is built, the construction jobs are gone. So it takes maybe 5 years to build a coal plant. You're not going to have those jobs after that, With energy efficiency, with renewable energy, with manufacturing for renewable energy equipment and stuff, that's the way to go, I think, in our future.
Governor Granholm has directed the Department of Environmental Quality to take any proposed coal plant before it's allowed to get a permit. It must show that there is a need for the electricity that they're talking about generating. And that is a needs assessment process has to be done. And then they also have to look at whether there are feasible and prudent alternatives, is the phrase, that would be cleaner, that would be, probably they would also look at cost. They'd look at the whole issue of things like CO2. Is this the best way to generate electricity? And then with that done, the Department of Environmental Quality can decide whether or not to issue the permits. We think it's going to be very hard to make the case that any of these coal plants ought to be permitted.